Want to welcome everybody to another episode of Hurt Feelings. I'm J-Mo the asshole.
Toxic nobody.
So today's conversation is about men and women and how women can have standards on what they will and won't accept when it comes to the dating scene. And if men have standards and things that they will and won't accept during the dating scene, they're considered insensitive or not caring or heartless and things of that nature. But I was watching a video on another social media platform where a gentleman set a standard. He can't date a woman with kids. And the woman went on a whole tangent. Oh, how can you be so insensitive? And it's a deal breaker and da da da. Understandably so. That if you have a kid and you want to date someone, but you have to understand that if that's something that he prefers is not to have someone with children, that's his preference. Oh, he's insensitive. He's not caring. You were raised by a single mother. What makes you think you're better than some? What makes you think you so better than anybody to not date someone even though you were raised by a single mother?
I mean, to me, that's no different than how insensitive some women used to be back in the day. I mean, the same thing that he is saying applies to a lot of other subjects as well involved in that. Mm-hmm. A woman wouldn't date a black man because he had the tools and the knowledge to do it. He just didn't have the right support. So if he didn't have a job or his own crib and a car, they were very insensitive to a man.
Dogged him.
So now that there's a young man in this day and age who says out blatantly that I'm not dating a woman with children, that's kind of his prerogative, because he might be still playing the single life, so he's not ready for any outside influence, if you want to call it, or a responsibility that he's not ready for.
Exactly. And then on top of that, he said, listen, I'm a high value man. And what he meant by being a high value man is not about financial anything like that. It's about, he's like, it's my character. I'm strong. I believe in the roles of man and woman. I'm a protector, and all of these things. I want to have somebody that I can build with, and we can build our own. I don't want to sit here and be raising kids is a big responsibility. Everybody,
be it yours or someone
else's, it is a big responsibility. And then to turn around and don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm about to marry a woman that has a child. My thing is, that's an additional responsibility that you have to take on when you decide to date a woman with a child. He may not want to take on that responsibility. It's nothing against him, and it's nothing against his character, but that is something that he is not either ready for or choosing not to even deal with, because sometimes dealing with a woman with a child comes with additional drama, comes with additional issues. It's learning a whole nother person's personality, not just the mother's, but that child's, and whoever else is involved in that child's life, whether it be the father, the biological father, that child's side of the family.
Yeah, you also got to think about somebody that she was dating that actually build a connection with that child and probably is still in that child's life. Mm-hmm. So that person still somewhat has a say-so.
Yep.
And certain things they disagree or agree with. And it's even worse for either person, female or male. Think about it like this, guys. Some women won't date a guy who has kids for the simple fact she doesn't want to deal with the baby mama drama.
Facts.
Or, the mama's stuck and her man listen to everything daddy and mommy says. One of those mama boy type people. There's that issue. Yeah. Then we could go on and on with that, because there's so many entities and variables that play parts in that whole discussion, that it can ruffle some feathers.
It can definitely ruffle some feathers. I mean, and that's one of the reasons why we do what we do. We're here to ruffle those feathers. We're here to have those discussions. If this man does not want to date a woman with children,
that should be his prerogative.
That should be his prerogative, and he should not be vilified. He should not be demonized for it.
Right. If anything, she should, not to cut you off, she should respect that.
Yeah.
Because I wonder how many men she has turned out for something similar.
Yeah.
Or the same type of connection, but in a different content.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you want to get mad at somebody, people start with yourself first.
Facts. What a lot of people don't realize is, and what I think is wrong with this society, is people make the decision to put on. They decide what someone's worth is instead of them deciding what their own worth is, what their own value is. You decide what your worth is, and he said, "My value is I'm a strong black man. I have good qualities. My character is excellent.
So he's got great morals and respect.
Morals, respect, all of that.
Yeah.
But he also explained, and how we were explaining this situation to you all, he's like, listen, if the tables were turned, if I was a woman and I didn't want to date a man that's under 5'8", that doesn't make six figures, that doesn't, you know what I'm saying, have a certain, it will be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But if a man sit here that says, I have these standards and requirements that I'm looking for when I'm dating a woman, or if I'm looking to build a future with a woman, it's a problem. Like, men are just supposed to accept what we can get and not look for what we want.
And you know what's even crazy? The illusion of some women not seeing with us, because I'm really a rough dude, but I'm also a kind dude.
Mm-hmm.
And when I see something that I feel like it's worth me showing my kindness, you make me want to show my evilness.
Yeah.
Because you take advantage of it. But then the dude around the corner who ain't about two dead flies, you give him royalty. You give him everything under the sun, and all he gonna do is sit in front of you, smoke a blunt, play his video game, and get up and do the same thing tomorrow while you out busting your ass.
Yep. I laugh at it. I laugh at the way society is, and the whole. I'm glad that I found the woman that I found that's in my life, because the dating scene nowadays is ridiculous, bro. It's horrendous. The fact that
it's overrated.
It's overrated, and the reason why I say it's horrendous is because women are chasing these know-nothing dudes, and I mean literally chasing them.
Yeah.
And passing on good quality guys, but because these good quality guys don't appease their visual standards,
mm-hmm.
or the visual standards that they think society says they should be dating or being with, they passing up good men. And
you're hitting strong points there.
Because, man, listen, it's ridiculous. Listen, at the end of the day, I believe that, and this is my personal belief, I believe that our melanated people need to build our community. And how do we build our community? By...
Not gonna happen. And I hate to be the first to sound like that against my own people, but it's just, you can't even open up a corner store without somebody in that circle having to switch to the illegal side of it all.
But it's not
I'm just
talking about on the dating scene. Just on the dating scene. These women have such unrealistic standards when it comes to dating scenes that you're, like I said, you're pushing away quality men that'll help you build, that'll help you have a future, that'll have something that's sustainable, that's stable, that can grow. You know what I'm saying? Because they chasing after Pookie and Ray Ray.
And then here's something else you got to remember. If the media didn't teach them how to be a hoe, excuse my French, but let's just keep it 100. Because fans only and all that crap y'all look at on this media shit, Y'all get involved in that shit and it go to y'all head and y'all think y'all don't need one of us. Just as much as we need y'all, you need us.
Yes.
When we out there in the streets, we doing the same thing. We hustling our ass off. You don't think we want to come home to something soft?
Come home to something soft. Come home to peace. Come home to.
That's where I lay my head. I need to be able to come home to peace. If I can't come home to peace, guess what ends up happening? I'm gonna find it somewhere else because somebody else gonna say something, do something, or react a certain way that's gonna get my attention when my attention should be you. But you so busy doing your, popping your ass on TV. You're doing makeup and eyelashes and all that shit. And don't get me wrong, that shit is cool as a real profession, but not something that you're using to have whole tendencies.
Not even whole tendencies, let's be honest. Never in the history, and y'all go understand my verbiage, never in the history of niggerdom has a man ever walked up to a woman and said, "Ooh, baby, them lashes do it for me. Ooh, girl, that come on." Never.
First off, you got to think about it. The media has made it so bad for women that a lot of times the good men don't even want to talk to them because they look like the tigers. Think about it. All the ones we ever seen running around with the dirty shoes, the tight pants on, and their ass hanging out, they glorified now.
Yep.
And what happens to the ones who don't want to be treated that way? What do they start doing? They want to show their cleavage more, show their ass more, their legs more. They leave no sense of visual lust for a man. I don't want you if I can see everything right then and there.
I know what you got, and that's
I have
what's messed up with this.
no room for anything. I'm looking at you, you're a hoe.
That's the whole messed up scene with the way society is, this dating scene.
Mm-hmm.
People have a false image of what beauty is. I come from a generation, all that makeup shit wasn't necessary. Natural beauty was the shit. We knew you was fine.
When we woke up next to you and we looked at you and you still had the saliva on your face, and I could see your grandma in you, and grandma still looking good too, because I made a comment in my self-conscious. Damn, grandma kind of, dang, that's how my girl gonna look when she hit that age?
Man.
That was beautiful. Now, shit, all she gotta do is show just a little bit of ass and a whole bunch of titties, put some eyelashes on and some lipstick, and niggas is gonna be like, ooh, I gotta get that.
And they think that they gonna catch a high quality, high value, high moral man with all that shit. They're not.
No, you gonna catch what you're around.
You gonna catch.
If you run around here acting and looking hoes, you ain't gotta be one though. Let's get that straight. I'm not saying y'all hoes. No. But you give off that when you dress or you treat yourself like that.
And I will say this, and I'm gonna keep it pushing. Ladies, if you don't want a fuck boy, fuck nigga, whatever you want to be fuck nigga free, it starts with you. What you present is what you attract.
I tell my kids all the time when they was younger, as they get older, leave room for imagination.
Yeah.
If a dude can see everything he needs to know about you in that one moment, or that girl sees what she needs to you in that one moment, you ain't giving her nothing. You ain't giving him nothing. Everything he wants to know, or wants to see, or wants to touch is right there.
I'm about to expose men's secrets, right? Ladies, when we come across you, we are visual creatures. By nature, we are visual creatures. We go look, as soon as we see you, first thought in our mind, damn. Next thought in our mind, when we start seeing every attribute. And if we see every attribute out in the open,
tell them, man.
Man, okay, I know I can, let me try and chop up. I know I can get her tonight and woo out the bed.
Yeah,
that's
because there's no camouflage.
It's no camouflage. But then if we see a woman that's carrying herself with sophistication, even with some kind of morality and character, our first reaction is always gonna be like, damn. Oh shit, let me try and talk to her. Let me get to know her. Let me get to...
When a man can see your vagina print.
Attributes.
Or attributes. before he even gets to know what it looks like, smells like, or even whatever, you're giving him and you're giving yourself away totally.
Now, I know people gonna get in the comment. I know people gonna get
you good, Bubba. You good.
I know people gonna get in the comment section and well, men need to learn how to control themselves and around women, and women should be able to dress in how whatever she wants to. Yes, ladies,
and that's true.
You can wear whatever you want to.
But here's the thing:
understand that the way a good majority of men think is the visual comes first. We go with what we see first. Then once we start, if we choose to have a conversation with you, then we make our decisions further from that.
Fact of money.
You know what I'm saying?
Prime example, ladies and gentlemen. How many times you seen the dude, he look kind of like me, or even smaller, between him and I, and then she looked this big compared to us. But the clothes she wears makes her look like this. But when we are intimate with one another, everything I thought in my head, you start to see. You're like, damn, where'd that come from? Oh, I didn't know she had that. Oh, woo. Room for imagination goes a long way when you make a man guess.
Yep.
How it looks, how it smells, how soft it is.
Sometimes we like to be surprised.
And you know what? And out there, for you young ladies out there with them little booties,
LB,
I know a lot of y'all ain't got little booties. You just the clothes you wear.
Listen, it's not even that. I'm going to say it just like this. LBM, little booties matter. Little booties matter.
Of course. Hey, see, y'all scared to get in this cast, huh? Look, he walking out sitting there looking like... We're not talking about just that. We're talking about period.
We just talking about the whole scene, period.
Man, hit your cigarette. I don't know what I did. I left my shit in there. But yeah, back to that. Sorry about that. We just had a small interlude in the process of this.
So, all said and done, listen, if a man has standards, respect it. Understand, and there's nothing wrong with it, ladies. There's nothing wrong. You should respect him more for having standards and morals and respect for himself. And respect for you, and respect for whatever you got going on. If he chooses not to date you because you have a child, don't be mad at him. Find you a man that's open to those type of things. Find you a man that's, hey, listen, I understand you got a child. Hey, listen, I know I can't fill the spot of a father, but I can assist. You know what I'm saying?
And then that's something for you fellas. If you're going to do that, don't bring what you do in the streets home.
Nope.
Because you're only making her job worse when y'all fuck around and do possibly break up.
And not just that, fellas, if you decide to date a woman that has children and you start being in that child's life, really stand up and be in that child's life.
Be a role model, not just a dude that's really there for
laying with their mama. Don't be a dude just laying with their mama. Don't let them,
especially if she got boys.
Yeah.
What you do out there in the streets, you don't come home with. How you talk out there in the streets, you don't come home with. Because you want to teach them something different. You want to teach them to be better than you. That's what we have kids for. My kids are to definitely be better than me.
And they are a reflection of how they were raised.
Pretty much. And even if you're not biological or biological, you should take that in consideration because we're selfish half the time when we go out that door and come back in.
Yep.
We don't think about that sponge that's sitting over there growing and taking in all your flaws that you don't see as flaws.
Yep.
And then when that kid gets to a certain age, because of what he sees and what he hears, he starts talking in that mannerism. Because nobody used like, excuse me, pardon my French, things of that nature. They was like, man, so that kid grows up irate, disrespectful.
Thinking all of that behavior is okay.
Because y'all set those boundaries.
Yeah.
First off and foremost, don't be your kids' friends.
That we gonna set that up for another podcast. Listen, when it comes to parenting and things like that, that's a whole subject in itself.
It's okay when a kid starts to hit a certain age. You do certain things with him. You know, like my mom waited until I was 21 to have my first shot, had my first drink with my mom. But ask me, did I have another one since then? And I'm 51. I won't even, if she sit at the table drinking, I will not sit in that table. I still go by old school rules and regulations.
Child's supposed to be seen
and never heard.
But like I said, we're
gonna say that before another one.
We're gonna say that for another one, because I really gotta understand. I see so much potential when it comes to us as the black community, us as people in society, and especially with everything that's going on and how treacherous and ridiculous the way society is now, and the schemes and plots that they're planning against us, and people not realizing it. You know what I'm saying? We need to grow. We need to build. We need to have our own. We need to come together and establish our own as a community. You know what I'm saying? And it starts with us not having these unrealistic standards for each other. You know what I'm saying?
Check it out. Let me upgrade what he's saying. How many times you done been on the highway and you going out of town and you see miles and miles and miles of just empty land, cornfields, weed fields, wheat fields, all of that stuff. Do you know that 85% of those owners that own all that property can't wait for somebody to buy some of that land?
Take it off their hand.
And if you took a whole community and everybody put about 10, 20 bucks together, everybody, not one person left out in our community, do you know we'd have enough money to go purchase that land?
Yep.
Or at least a portion of that land, and
start building from there.
Start building our own stores, our own malls, our own little community cul-de-sac neighborhoods. But you have to learn how to take away the ignorance that's within all of us. And I'm guilty of it too sometimes.
Yep.
So I'm not talking like I'm just running around here an angel, because that's far from it. I'm just saying I've learned to deal with situations, neighborhoods, and communities accordingly. Yep. If I know I'm over by the university, I use that part of my brain. I know if I'm over in Wayzata, I use that part of my brain. I even change my posture and my walk. Not that I'm kissing their ass, but I want them to look at me for who I am, because we are very well capable of adapting to anything more than anybody on this planet.
Right.
And when we start utilizing that and going from, man, fuck all that shit, to, hey, let's really get down and sit at this table and make this happen.
Right.
Watch how many of us change. Watch how many of us grow. Watch how many of us can get our kids that's out here in the street doing stupid shit like them Kia boys. And a lot of them kids really wish their parents would acknowledge them. That's why they keep doing the dumbness.
Yeah. But
they too busy hanging at your Clifford Norms or your 4th Street. And for some of y'all don't know that, that's some Minnesota shit. But anyway, period. When you start looking at it differently, you paint a different picture. Not just for yourself, for your legacy and your community.
Facts. Well, this is Hurt Feelings Uncut Podcast. I'm Jay Moriaso.
Ty Stink Nobody.
Hit that like, share, subscribe. We
ding,
keep it
ding,
real
ding.
We keep it real as possible. Uncut.
You know what it is.
You already know what it is.
I can talk to you like this all day long, or I can say, man, you know what the fuck to do.
Hey.
Uncut.
Peace.